Welcome back to your coverage here at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series live from Dortmund. So, a quick apology to those of you watching at home. We did have some technical issues which meant the stream has gone down, but we're back and we're ready to roar straight into our round 8 feature match. In front of me, I have Alex and Dima and Jack Verma, who are ready to kick off for our penultimate match of today's coverage. Gentlemen, we're going to do a quick dice roll to see who's going to go first. So Jack is going to roll first on a high roll. Let's see what we got. That's a 3. And then for Alex, that is a 10. So who's going to go first? You're going to go first. Alex is going to go first. I'm going to throw you guys over to our wonderful commentary team who are going to take you through this penultimate coverage match of today. Guys, we're almost there.
Thank you, Ed, and welcome to round 8, everybody. I'm here with Tom and Leo, and we're going to take you through this exciting match. What do you guys think?
I think, you know, Ed said the word penultimate, but we might be seeing something ultimate in this game. What do you think?
Oh, and it would be a conductor to Renault. You're absolutely right about this one. Ed is going to go crazy. I think he really had a tough time to just overplay that he's super excited about this matchup. But also on the other side, we have Jack Verma, who has been a staple on the featured matches here.
Absolutely, yeah, the phenomenal season last year, just like he did in previous seasons.
Or every year, former German national champion.
Absolutely, and his choice instead doesn't surprise me that much. He has always liked, you know, rogue decks. I remember back in the day, Altergeist for a bit, and now he's on Labyrinth. So, you know, the deck that we have seen had success, I would say, throughout the day, and still is there. But I want to see this matchup, how it lines up. I mean, it's definitely not what you would expect going into the tournament, especially because they are 6-1.
So you're telling me you were familiar with how Dinosaur plays into the other, you know, decks in the field, but you just weren't sure about how the Dino Labyrinth was going to go specifically.
We work close with Ed. He has been talking non-stop about this dinosaur combos. So you're saying you're not listening to him? That's what you're saying?
We're going to have to do a showcase after
Absolutely.
this, yeah.
Honestly, a part of me would like to see Ed against Jack, but for now we'll settle for Alexander instead. And let's see who will take this game one between them whenever we are ready to jump into action.
Talking about the matchup of Dinosaurs versus Labyrinth, the Dinosaur deck has so many different tools to play into multiple different decks. However, back row is tough.
Okay. Not gonna lie, I might have PTSD throughout the match when we see Ultimate Conductor Tyranno from the World Championship back in the day.
Oh, right.
But I'll take my time for it. I'll take my time. Let's see. But yeah, as you mentioned, the deck is really good at disrupting. I feel like even going second, you could get a lot of OTKs done with the deck. But against, trap cards, maybe not so much.
Yeah, and the extra deck, there's really nothing against it at Max Lagia or Baron de Fleur. Of course, always one of the best cards against back row decks. In the side deck, you have Cosmic Cyclone and Harpy's Feather Duster, but in the main deck, it's like there's nothing against it, I think.
Well, I mean, let's see. Sometimes with, you know, some decks you just produce a lot, and one of the difficulties of trap decks, even if you don't have that many negations, if you need to answer threats one at a time. Oh, Jack's gone for it.
Actually, not that popular, I would say, in the main deck for the Labyrinth deck, right? So, interesting choice, but makes sense. Good medical, we said it.
Yeah.
Unchained and Tier are very popular.
Kashtira is basically gone from the format, so main decking Shifter is a lot better.
But actually, it was Alexander who was going first, so interesting one.
Yeah, right, he won the dice roll.
Yeah, so he's just playing around the talent, I guess, which is fair enough. It's one of those cards that has been played by a lot of different decks, and
Gamma is not that threatening anymore, right?
No, I mean, I would assume so. If you get hit by the one copy, I guess, yeah.
Gamma and Driver are still very frequently played in Dragon decks, because now you have the Black Meteorite Dragon that has to send a normal monster from the deck to the graveyard during your normal combo. So you can just play Driver, and maybe if you have Gamma, you can resolve it, but the Driver is not a brick. It's part of the combo.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Jack probably taking a second.
These are all OG dinosaur cards, so yeah, I mean, we should be pretty familiar with those, and he's going okay for the Oviraptor.
I love what he's doing. He's almost playing everything in just rare, which is my favorite rarity.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very subtle, but elegant.
Just like you.
Thank you.
Okay, but okay, we do.
Immediate impermanence.
How are we going to do the classic imperm faker?
Do we see a lady? No, okay. That would have been way too much, but really great start here.
Yeah, Shifter Impermanence is really good as a trap deck. Then you can just stop your opponent. It's like Jack is starting the game now.
Yeah. But I mean, Jack's not going to do the same as other decks might. If you get a free turn, right, you're just going to set 3. Yeah. You don't really make good use of the battle phase on the first turn.
And especially the Shifter is now gone, essentially. So you don't get to, really utilize its power right now, and you need to do something at this point,
Now Alexandra going to be rewarded for some patience. Oh, and even more patience.
Only attacking with this Oviraptor. Interesting. He might not have much going on at the moment.
I mean, Jack is on the clock now.
Okay, fair enough.
He's only got 41 minutes and a couple of turns.
He's on a coup clock now, if you will.
Okay. But now we see one of the core cards of the deck able to search for the Evolution Pill and another Impermanence.
I'm very intrigued why we'd start doing this main phase 2. We're playing around Torrential Tribute or something?
Yes, and this is actually a card I wanted to talk to you guys about. In trap decks, most of the time people say, hey, if your opponent has an established field, then you might not be able to win. Torrential Tribute and Solemn Strike is the solution to everything.
What if your opponent just attacks?
Then Mirror Force plus Solemn Strike.
You've got it. Okay.
Exactly. So why did people cut those cards? I mean, Mirror Force. Yes.
Okay.
What if they had a Baron de Fleur in play before they just pop something,
You're just Torrential before they Baron de Fleur.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think Torrential might be one of my favorite trap cards. So I'm on your train, yeah? I see
Very
it.
good.
I see
Choo
it.
choo.
Let's go. But yeah, he now has access to this big welcome, and with no Ash Blossom on the other side, he gets to set up this lady.
Was this during the end phase? Yeah, it must have been. Oh, maybe not. Maybe Jack was just changing his mind. No, this was the end phase.
Yeah, it was.
We've seen a lot of this very slow-paced action in some of our feature matches with things like Gozen match, skill drain, and just general labyrinth shenanigans.
Oof. And a second big welcome. Wow.
Do we have any candidates for what that set card could be from Alexandra?
Yeah, of course. After a big thinking, it could be Impermanence.
Oh, yeah, that's almost all it can be, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
Which actually would be pretty nice here if he goes for the Lovely. So let's see.
Oh,
we are setting up an Impermanence to negate the other probably Impermanence of Alexandre.
And yeah, let's see if there is the Impermanence there. I think you're pretty much forced to use it. Because in Memphis, sure, they will also set one. Yeah, so good call.
Hey.
Well, this is a lot of damage.
Attacking over the croc. The luxurious croc.
Easier to call him that than the Animadorned Archosaur. It's got a great effect, though.
Oh, that is absolutely true. So we got the iconic Labyrinth duo on the field right now.
And now, I think, actually, what do you guys think of that infinite impermanent search? I don't think I was a fan of that.
I was kind of confused. I feel like you could search for something a little more impactful.
Yeah, because like, you know you're going to activate the Lovely, so either they activate the face down or I feel like you're going to destroy that regardless, you know? And then you get something that you can actually use in the draw phase.
Jack is actually not running too many normal trap cards. Oh, he is.
Okay.
He's running Ice Dragon's Prison, one copy of it, one Terrors of the Overworld.
Okay.
There was a lot he could have searched.
Now we set one card. Pass.
This is some real old school Yu-Gi-Oh here.
Never mind.
Oh.
Okay.
Pankratops is insane against trap decks, but in this situation, I don't think it does too much because the 2,600 attack.
Oh, okay.
Dogoran.
What is going to happen to this set monster? I'm really confused.
Okay. Oh, but that one cannot be
can't do
targeted
that,
or destroyed, so yeah.
It's 2 reasons that doesn't work.
Yeah. That face down. Your Tom is a bluff. Which will reveal to be like a fossil dino or something.
I was kind of, I was hoping
yes.
that like Pank would be tributed. Can you destroy your own cards with Pank? I don't know. I've never tried it, but maybe it could be a baby
No,
Saurus.
it's only on your opponent cards. Yeah.
Okay. When we saw a tribute set in an earlier feature match to play around Gozen match, which I did really enjoy, but
okay.
Oh, the set card is identified as a major threat.
Absolutely. As you should.
you should always respect your opponent's set monsters.
What if it's a Morphing Jaw?
What if it's an illusion monster?
Oh yeah, that is a that's big trouble for Vincenzo Orovino in that case.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a little threatening if you ask me. And that Pankratops can only destroy the Dogoran. And yeah, he has seen enough. So this game 1 goes convincingly to Jack. Great stuff.
Yeah, Jack just controlled the game.
Absolutely.
Very strong mana. Dimensional Shifter, of course. Chef's Kiss. Fantastic card against Dino, against so many strategies. And then also followed up by the Impermanence. And then another Impermanence. And then he searched for yet another Impermanence.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he just thought Impermanence did such a good job that he should get another copy. You know, who needs Ice? I mean, I suppose his other traps maybe just weren't so helpful. If we looked at his deck, there was Dimensional Barrier, Ice Dragon's Prison, but
I mean, I'm thinking big welcome because
you
could have just gone for the lovely combo again, but it doesn't really matter at that point. And although that face down monster was threatening, unfortunately, Jack had the solution with the big welcome, sending it back to end. We'll never know what that was, but
we'll never know.
I guess now we can move to the side decks, and Alexander is gonna pray that he doesn't, get met again by a Shifter plus Impermanence. But I could assume he's going first still, right?
Yeah, I think he's trying to set up a big combo field. Maybe go for a Borreload Savage Dragon, which I do not see in his deck list, which is a first after many formats rather than years that Dino has played Borreload Savage Dragon. Why is the generic level 8 Synchro not that strong anymore? Why do people cut it? So many questions.
You can make a cooler dragon in the form of Evil Zarlagia.
It's not a dragon.
Is it not a dragon?
It's absolutely not a dragon. Is it a dragon?
It's a dragon.
It is.
Where is this coming from?
It is. You can
they
electric
upgrade. There's the evil something. There's this.
You're thinking the opposite way. You're thinking
it goes reptile and then
You're
it goes
thinking
dino.
it's not a
and then
dinosaur.
it goes,
Yeah.
You didn't get the theme of the evils.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, I think you should be. 'Cause you were rinsing me for that.
Yeah, I know.
You were like, it's not a dragon, you fool. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a dragon. I'm pretty sure it's a dragon. We even saw an Evil Tsar in an earlier feature match as well.
Yeah, that is true. Was that a dragon as well?
All the Evil Tsars are dragons.
It makes sense.
It does, but
It does.
now what we're gonna see might be that or as you mentioned, instead he doesn't have that many options against drop cards. We already mentioned it, so his ending field must be adapted to this. On the other hand, though, Jack feels pretty happy about this game 1, so he can adapt his deck further by maybe cutting some of those trap cards. Dimensional Barrier doesn't feel great in this matchup, so you can, get some more useful trap cards or some going second cards. What do you guys think?
Oh, he has a lot of going second cards. There's Evenly Matched, there's Ra's Fear Mode. There's also Gravekeeper's Inscription with this, I think, rather a going first card against other decks, but also against dinosaurs. It also works. Retaliating Sea. is maybe good because of the new Xeno cards.
Yeah, exactly. Good words against ground.
It's another
Xeno.
shifter.
Doesn't it have to activate against the spell that summons...
ground Xeno.
Ground Xeno, but the first effect just adds. It doesn't summon anything.
I think it just needs to include it, right?
Oh, that's interesting.
Probably. I mean, I would assume so.
We will check.
Well, we will check.
We will find out if it is
we'll
attempted.
find out. And in the meantime, our duelists are almost ready with their side decks. So let's find out who will be the winner of Game 2. Here they are once again, Alexander. Let's see if he's going first. Nice fist bump there. And from the end of Jack, I could see a monster, but not quite what that was.
Keeping his cards close to his chest.
Yeah.
In a very literal way to stop us from seeing what it is.
Alexander seems to be thinking a bit about his opening play. Maybe a bluff, maybe... Ooh, wow!
Deck lockdown
Deck lockdown.
Really tough. I haven't seen that card since Light of Destruction.
It has been a while. I think back in Necros, maybe, like in 2015, we saw some of that in play, but wow, it's actually really strong against Labyrinth.
It's really strong against Unchained. I'm worried if this is the start of his turn,
because
what's going to happen afterwards.
Chains cards, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It chains them back after they've been unchained. I like it, I like it. And then it gets destroyed by escape. But
yeah, but as you mentioned,
if this is your
if
first
you open
card,
with
this must mean you're not going to do much afterwards. Because
oh, that is a really good point.
I mean, I also don't know
what you can do. You can set a monster.
You can set a monster. Or a spell or trap.
Okay. And he does. Oh. Okay. He knows. He knows. And now let's see Jack.
I mean, Jack has to have a monster in hand that answers this, because otherwise this is a problem. This is a monster that is possibly level 4,
what if,
and 2 of those make Lagia or Dolka.
What if he enters his battle phase? That would be painful if you're Alexander.
Yeah. I mean, he might just pass to main phase 2. You know.
Fair enough.
Oh, there's also one card set by Jack, but the engine is shut off because of the deck lockdown.
Yeah, at the same time, if your opponent is not doing much, they're also shut down. So you could just wait the 2 turns, I guess, in the worst case scenario. It will be destroyed next turn when it's back to Alexander, so...
That is true. We are putting the dice underneath the deck lockdown to show that is 1 turn that has passed. Let's see.
I mean, by how things are going, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jinzo, but
I was thinking that for sure. I was thinking of Jinzo as well, set for, you know, tribute your Sangan for Jinzo, let's go.
But now we see a very popular engine in the dinosaur deck, which is Scrap.
Yeah, that is a Scrap Raptor, but his friends call him Scraptor.
Okay.
Who are his friends?
The other Scrap cards.
And Ed.
Okay, so let's see if the monster that can be flipped up is a Scrap Chimera, one of the friends actually. So now I think that the Scrap Chimera is not a dinosaur, so you can't actually go for Lagia or Dolka. You have to go for other plays, but I think that's just
you can make the Scrap Link.
You make Scrap Dragon. You can make a lot of different things, you know.
Or you can attack. That's allowed.
The problem with the Scrap Link is that you can't summon something from the deck.
That is true.
Yep. Or
does it send things from the deck to the grave? I can't remember what Scrap Wyvern does.
Oh, it's special summon. Ooh, you can special summon 1 Scrap monster in your graveyard and then target 1 card you control and destroy it.
Get rid of the
and then it summons something from deck.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, you can pop the deck lockdown if you want to. Okay. We are going probably for Gallant Granite or Gagaga Cowboy, which is also an option.
Okay, interesting.
Or Dugaris, of course.
Is he playing Zeus? Because then I would feel like that might have been an option also to just...
You know, you would think so after seeing 5 different cards in the extra decks that are Exceeds, but no, there's actually no Zeus here.
Okay.
Why is it in attack mode?
Why not?
Didn't he use his battle phase already?
Yeah.
It might be angry.
I might not know the stats that well. Oh, it's got more. No, it's the same attack and defense.
And there is skill drain to answer them.
So now, Jack
that's a pass.
has one more turn, because when standby is back to Alexander, the deck lockdown is gone and he can access his welcome trap cards. So again, maybe not that threatening at the moment.
Alexandre was probably really hyped for the featured match, wanted to show the world what the dinos can do, but Jack is just not having it.
Okay. And now probably not knowing that his opponent doesn't play the Zeus, that could be a reason. He just gives up on the round, but wants to attack over the Dugares, which could signal that there is no welcome trap, but let's see how this goes. Very aggressive attack with this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if he has big welcome, this is still fine, right?
Oh,
droplet.
But with the skill train, I don't think you can.
Oh, you
right?
can actually, because the attack modification comes first.
Okay.
Yes. Can get droplet up for the viewers as well.
Would you get? I guess it's a risk, but yeah. If you had the read that there is no welcome, which could be there, you could also get rid of the deck lockdown since you're gonna lose it. But yeah, I guess he doesn't want to take the risk right now.
Forbidden droplet really, really strong right here. Usually it does not work like that because of skill drain. Skill drain prohibits you from activating cards that negate monsters. But forbidden droplet mainly, as we all use it as well, is for halving attack.
Yeah, it's basically a shrink.
Exactly. Actually, why don't you play shrink? Like, you have to send cards away for this.
Yeah, I mean, it was a prize card for a reason.
Fair enough.
We're going to see deck lockdown number 2.
Oh, and there's a Lost World.
Okay. That actually is pretty good, potentially.
Yeah.
And there he goes!
Marcello, fasten your seatbelt, because there is Ultimate Conductor Tyranno right here, and Jack is exactly at 3,500 life points.
And Alexander's going to give him a token just to protect.
I know the feeling, Jack. I know the feeling. I'm here with you.
Yeah, he's big and scary, Conductor Tyranno. There's not much.
He is.
Not much to do about him.
Even under skill drain, this is a lot of attack points, and now targeting becomes harder and harder for Jack because he can only target normal monsters on the field right now.
And yeah, now you can just enter battle phase, I guess. Call it a day.
Yeah, we saw this in the previous feature match with the Labyrinth versus Rescue Ace. It was like, here's my skill drain, and the Rescue Ace just says, my monsters are bigger than yours, so like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, calm down.
And Jack does not look too happy, but let's see.
Look at this beautiful, rare Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I love it.
I'm sure Ed's having a great time.
For sure.
So Dugares can attack over the token. The token can then be protected by Lost World by destroying a dinosaur monster from deck.
Oof.
And there is the Ruma Karma Cannon, a card that does not target.
And gets rid of the token, because obviously cannot be put face down.
So it has to be destroyed.
But still, we don't see... Okay, I was about to say we don't see engine, and there it is. So he gets the Stovey. And one of the cards coming from the side deck, I actually don't know whether you would play that in this matchup, but sure.
I mean, I'm not sure he knew exactly what to expect. Seems like a reasonable card, but yeah, I can see why he decided in.
And now you still need to deal with this Tyranno, which has 3,200 defense.
Can activate this Prosp now. No deck lockdown anymore.
I mean, Jack had a pretty tough time here with all of those searching cards, but he hung in there. It went well, I think.
And let's take a look. Interesting way of... Okay. Ooh,
That's monsters.
Yeah, mainly monsters. The Ice Dragon Prison is a pretty good card in this matchup. Not in this particular situation, but I guess, yeah.
I was gonna say there is no dinosaur monster in the graveyard of Alexandre, so Ice Dragon's Prison does not do anything right here.
And he gets
the Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle.
Not as big as a Tyranno.
Just like we saw in previous matches, it seems like it will be now on Jack to play around his own skill drain.
But that is a big welcome, and that is absolutely fantastic, because there, as we said earlier, there are no dinosaurs in the graveyard of Alexandre. So if you bounce the conductor back to hand...
Yeah, and you can also make Chaos Angel, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this is a pretty good way of doing it. Without skill drain, it would have been even better. But this is a great card here. 3,500 attack, and yeah, you can just attack over the Lost World.
Oh, the Lost World!
Yep.
The Lost World is reducing the attack and defense points of all monsters that are not dinosaurs, and Chaos Angel definitely is not a dinosaur.
Jokes on Chaos Angel.
Lot of the Heavenly Prison is revealed, and now let's see how this game continues, because the Dugaris is still there, and maybe there is a normal summon that could change stuff.
Maybe. This is exactly the rescue ace against Labyrinth. It had the field spell boosting 500, you know? It's literally flashbacks to that round.
I think, though, it may not be a dinosaur, but it is a fiend. So it does mean that the big welcome Labyrinth can use its effect in the graveyard to bounce.
I think it's a fairy, right?
It's a fiend, I think.
Let's check.
It is a fiend.
It absolutely is a fiend. I have not said anything about this.
Tom, unfortunately, it's not a fairy, as you mentioned.
Well, thank you. Thank you for thank you for correcting me.
You're good.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, and
so
this is
now
Baby Cesar. This is a good draw.
Yes, and ironically it is, and because this can shut down the big welcome targeting effect. So now
you have to just chain it now, right?
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
But maybe Jack doesn't know that. I mean, he didn't know the effect of Lost World to reduce the attack and defense. But maybe he knows the more relevant effect of Lost World.
Unfortunately, you have to read all the words on the cards.
All the words.
And yeah, he does.
He did.
He did. Okay, all right, fair enough. But is there a way for Alexandre to get 2 dinosaurs into the graveyard right now again? Before the battle phase. After the battle phase, for sure, he just has to use the Dugaris, attack over the token, protect the token, pop a baby from the deck, and then go into some link plays.
Yeah, it seems like he's just gonna have to attack here.
It's very polite of Jack there, just to be like, where would you like the token to be?
And we are about to protect the token. Lost World, good job here.
Seems like it. Yep.
Oh, and now there is a question that is immediately answered by the existence of Skill Drain. Would Chaos Angel protect the token from being destroyed? So could Lost World theoretically even protect the token that can't be destroyed from being destroyed?
No.
Straight up, yeah.
if it can't be if it's not going to be destroyed, you can't protect it from being destroyed. Here's a trivia question.
It is. It was.
How much defense does Stovey Torby have?
I will answer
No, that's cheating. That's
Isn't
cheating.
it 2,000? No.
2,000?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just wondering. It's very,
I guess
it's relevant.
Let's check. I thought it was pretty... Oh, wow. It's not even there to check. Okay. So we'll find out. I thought it was around that.
As long as it's less than 2,400, then it... oh, no. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
I was worried it was going to get
for
attacked by a dinosaur or something.
It is 2,000.
Okay.
It is
2,000.
Okay.
Jack really does not want his opponent to get 2 dinosaurs into the graveyard, or to just pop off with
he
a
can
combo.
easily get 2 dinosaurs. Assuming he has a link 2 that he can make, which I guess, given how tight his extra deck must be, is not something to take for granted.
And now we flip it to Dugaris, and let's see what he wants to go for.
Nightmare Phoenix is a possibility. Pentastag is also in there.
Why not?
Pentastag has applications in this deck. It gives something piercing damage, right?
Yeah, it can give you a Conduct Tyranno piercing damage. That is a very cool way of ending a game of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, especially with the Lost World, which is then guaranteed 3,500 damage already.
And there he comes back once again, the Tyranno. And that's the plan, I guess. Yeah. Tyranno plus Lost World.
Just waiting there.
Because
I like it.
To be fair, if you're Jack, wouldn't you then save the Solemn Strike for the Tyranno summon? And just allow it to resolve whatever effect was there from deck? Because, like, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, normally letting your opponent summon a monster from deck is quite scary, but under skill drain,
yeah,
you might,
that's why it's like under skill
right.
drain.
Yeah. Maybe he was worried there was going to be a Dogoran come out, you know, just... you can summon that,
Fair
right?
enough. But I mean, the good thing is that the Heavenly Prison resolves, and it's all an effect that triggers and from the end. So basically, even under skill drain, you get anything from deck, and it might just be it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you can link away the token, right?
That one, yeah, I guess.
Trying to get the Ice Dragon's Prison again for the target.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the best because there are no more dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But
they're all extinct.
I guess so. We need one more to go, and that's the one I want to see.
All right, so we are actually going for the Ice Dragon's Prison. It seems like Jack does not really have an answer for the Tyranno just yet.
Yeah, I mean, now Alexander is just asking whether the effect, is an in-field effect, and obviously it's not, so...
I mean, fair enough, you have the bit welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So we are seeing a great setup for Jack Wemmer, who can go for game. I think he's at least trying to do that in his next turn. I don't even know if he had a draw phase yet. Is this still the end phase? I would think so, right?
Yes, it is the end phase.
So preparing for a big push with all of those gigantic monsters he has on the field. Just getting rid of that token shortly so you can use the big welcome bounce effect if you have one. I think he started with 2 and he only used one of the effects, right?
I think he already banished. Do you think he has a second copy in the graveyard? I don't think so, right?
I think so.
He just has to figure out a way of...
Yeah, no, I think he's just going to use it next turn.
He's going to activate it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there is another copy. Yep. So instead he's going to play safely, I guess. With the Stovey back, he can bring that and then set the welcome. Yeah, he only has one copy of that. So, I mean, worst case scenario, even if you don't win here, you can just use the big welcome next turn and they don't have any more dinosaurs, I guess.
Yeah. So we are going for the welcome here.
Mm-hmm. He sets it back, and then for next turn, that will be there.
I mean, Jack must be running reasonably low on Labyrinth monsters in his deck, but...
Yeah, but you can still summon from grave. Yeah.
Not with the big... not with regular welcome has to summon from the deck,
yeah. I guess he has the useless Arianas, but sure.
So Jack is shaking his head, so it looks like he might not have found a way to win the game this time. What does he have in his extra deck right here?
Because I'm pretty sure he did not realize that the card in graveyard was not a dinosaur, so he couldn't use the Ice Dragon Prison.
I mean, even in like a completely commanding position, it can still be frustrating to have to just wait a turn.
For sure.
Look at this big Conductor Tyranno.
It is a bit unfortunate for him that he's not running the Goddess from the Underworld. The Underworld Goddess, which would be a nice out to the to the Conductor.
I mean, it does always give, you know, one extra turn for your opponent to draw something like Harpy's Feather Dust Draw.
Now we go for a Link 3, okay, with a Unicorn. Why not? Okay.
Sure. Now we have a Unicorn.
Not gonna use the effect, it seems like, but
I mean, Unicorn is a fiend, so can you go for some Ice Dragon's Prison shenanigans on the chain? I don't think so, right?
How?
Well, Unicorn chaining one Ice Dragon
to banish it. Yeah, I guess so.
But apparently there is no fiend on Alexandre's side, so he could have done that before, right?
No, because Ice Dragon special summons in defense, right? So...
Well, you can't target the Nightmare Unicorn?
No, what I mean is you cannot get back the Phoenix, right?
No, you can leave the Phoenix on the field, special summon the Scrap Chimera, because you can just banish monsters from your field, from both players' fields with the same type.
Doesn't it have to be the same type that you summon?
It has to be just the same type, right?
That you
I
summon.
just read the cards.
That you summon.
No, then you can banish one monster from both players' fields that have the same type as each other. So you just use Unicorn and chain the Ice Dragon's Prison.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't have to be of the same that you say. Yeah, that could have been a good play. But that was enough still, regardless of this anticlimactic ending. It is Jack who very convincingly just demolishes this Dinosaur deck with a 2-0 score. Wow.
Yeah, Dinosaur's not really with much of a chance in this matchup, right? I mean, we have figured it out before. The back row is just too strong for this deck. You really want to play versus monster-heavy lineups, but there was just too much skill drained there.
Too much. Yeah. Ed is going to be absolutely devastated. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Ed.
He's going to be like interviewing Jack, like seething. He's like, how could you beat my... He's going to question one, how could you beat my Dinosaur deck?
Absolutely, but yeah, sometimes it is about matchups and in such a diverse field with so many different decks across, it can happen. But still, nothing to be desperate about. He's sitting on a pretty good score. So 6-2 walking into the last round. I think winning it is pretty important to advance to day 2. But on the other hand, Jack can feel a little more relaxed. 7-1 record is very impressive. So regardless, he's secured the spot in day 2. So we'll see whether he makes it to the top 64 tomorrow. But we have one more round remaining for today to find out who actually is going to advance to day 2. And yeah, it seems like the meta is somewhat developing. And are you guys thinking about any favorite decks on top of your mind? What do you think is actually has the most chances of winning?
Yeah, so first of all, I have one deck that I will not spoiler because I'm pretty sure we're going to see this in the feature match later on, which is really crazy. It seems to work like a charm. But the deck I think that has the most chances of winning this entire tournament is, of course, the almighty Salamangreat strategy.
I see it.
It plays really well into triple tactics, talents, thrust, Book of Eclipse. And it's good in general. You can run Gozen Match, which is fantastic against most decks. You have easy one-card OTKs, and the cards are just really, really cool, and I like them.
I thought you were describing Fluanderies for a second there.
Okay.
That deck can also run Gozen Match, but not as well, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't think you would be a Fluanderies enthusiast out of everybody of us, but I see
I'm not an enthusiast, but you can definitely appreciate what the deck has going for it. You know, it's got some nice action against, I think people picked it up because Unchained was very popular and it kind of ignores what Unchained sets up on their first turn. So it's definitely a deck I have my eyes on, but there is only 10% Unchained. So I think playing a deck specifically to take advantage of another deck is great if there's a lot of it, but when it's only 10% of the field, maybe it's going to be quite hard to convert.
I love that we were talking about Fluanderies, and all of a sudden Emre Kitzilatis, the Master Duel World Champion, who is really known for his Fluanderies plays, pops up behind the camera.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very fitting nonetheless, and maybe we'll get to see him in action throughout the weekend. But regardless, as mentioned, thank you guys for being with us for round 8. One more round remaining for the day. But before we jump into that, we have Jack Verma, the winner of round 8, ready with Ed.
Thank you, Marcello. Yes, I am here with our winner of our penultimate round 8 match here at YCS Dortmund, Jack Verma, former German national champion. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Feeling great today.
Now, tell me, did you expect to go up against a Dinosaur deck in the feature match?
Not really. I knew it was something crazy because otherwise I wouldn't got the feature match. I expected like something like Manadium or something, but Dino's also fine.
It's a fun deck for me. Personally, it's my favorite, but also I was very aware that you were playing Labyrinth, and I know Dinosaurs don't do well against back row decks. So at what point did you know that you probably had a lot of ways around this deck? Quite early on?
Yeah, I already considered the deck to play, but it loses to draw, so I didn't bring it. I tested it a lot, and in this match I knew I'm gonna win when he just started activating deck blockade, and I knew like he can't play under this card and I can't play either, so I can wait, set up my traps, and will probably win. Yeah.
It was interesting seeing deck locked down because that wasn't a card a lot of us were expecting. But just going through the 2 games that we had, obviously you started with the D shifter, that's obviously going to be a problem going forth. But then you just managed to dominate with not 1, not 2, but 3 infinite impermanences that we saw. So were you feeling pretty confident in your ability to just completely disrupt the dinos when you saw 3 of them?
I drew 1 shifter, 2 imperm, I didn't see 3, and 2 welcome, so I knew I'm gonna stop his turn, but I can't play through an Ash, so I had to hope he don't have the Ash and just my engine come through and he can't play through my interruptions there.
And then going into game 2, Like I said, deck lockdown, probably a stall just to try and get some things going, and then that big dinosaur comes down, but it just didn't throw you off. You managed to just set up a bunch of really good back row cards, managed to really disrupt what could have been quite a threatening field there as well. Talk us through, when you see a big boss monster like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, what are your thought processes on how you get rid of that?
I mean, it's a pretty good card. I love this card, but like under skill drain, it don't do that much. It's just a beat stick. And I founded my outs to beat it, and then I got confused by the judges, so I didn't use the Ice Dragon's Prison right. And yeah, like I bounced it 2 times, so yeah.
So at this point, you're now 7-1. We've only got one more match today before we move into that final 3 of Swiss tomorrow. Labyrinth is pretty strong at the moment. Anything you're worried about going up against, apart from a Harpy's Feather Duster?
Dark World is the only deck I'm afraid of.
Okay, well, let's see what happens. Got one more today. Fingers crossed it's not Dark World, but I guess we'll see. Congratulations on your win. I imagine maybe you're no stranger to the top cut, so perhaps we'll see you again for this one. Guys, don't go anywhere. We've got one more match here of today's coverage of YCS Dortmund coming right up.
Rush Duel has been added to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links! Accelerate with Rush Duels from the get-go! Normal summon or set many monsters from your hand! You can draw each turn until you have 5 cards in your hand! Load your road to victory! Let's start together! Flip the tables with Rush Duel! Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links! Duel even more with Rush Duel! Campaign underway!
So when it comes to the live events here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, we know many of you duelists make your way here. However, some of you haven't had the chance yet. So with that in mind, we'd like to take you guys around and show you exactly what makes up our live events. Starting with this. Behind me are all the tables that the thousands of duelists taking part in YCS Dortmund will be having their duels. The main event as well as the public events all happen here behind me. This is the main event stage. This is where all of our duelists come to sign up for the main event here at YCS Dortmund. As well as that, every announcement you hear are from the good old people who are working behind there. The main event isn't all that happens here at YCS Dortmund. We also have the public events, and this is the public event stage where you come and sign up for those events. You can also see some of the giant and oversized cards that we have for people to win. They look absolutely incredible. Will you be getting your hands on one? Find out here at the public event stage. And when you take part in those public events, you can win points which you can exchange here for the prizes on the prize wall. Marcello has a separate bit of content to show you exactly how that exchange works, but here are some of the prizes you can win. Deck boxes, play mats. There's a lot that you guys can win by taking part in the public events. Now, as well as the TCG stuff, you can also take part in our digital titles. You can come over and try the new Rush Duel update, which is available now for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and you can also make your way over here to the Master Duel section, where you guys can try that out for yourselves as well. And lastly, here at the YCS, we obviously make a lot of coverage that you're watching right now. And this is where that magic happens. Over here in the coverage area, we have an interview area for all the post-match interviews and things like meta breakdowns. Here is the commentator's booth. As you can see, Leo and Basti are currently looking through some cards right now. Oh, okay, who's going to win the rock, paper, scissors? Okay, Leo has managed to win rock, paper, scissors. And over on my right is where all of the feature matches happen, which you guys will be seeing throughout the weekend. It's always exciting to bring you guys all of this coverage here, and we hope you guys enjoy the event at YCS Dortmund. Welcome back to the last round here of our pre-recorded coverage for our series, Master versus Caster. 4 out of 5 of our matches have already happened. You've seen them all. Our casters have been utterly defeated for the most part. So now it's time to introduce our last Master. Please welcome Jonas Koschel. Now, Jonas, like I've said, you are no stranger to the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! You've been to 2 World Championships. You've just recently come back, basically, from Tokyo. How does it feel to be back here in Dortmund?
It's great. I feel like every YCS and every Yu-Gi-Oh! Event in general is just like a class reunion where I get to see everyone again, and yeah, it's just great being here.
Fantastic. Now we're going to introduce someone who I know you're very familiar with. Please welcome Mr. Leonard Koenig. Now, Leo. You're very aware that Jonas is a tough player, but how are you feeling about this?
I mean, I know Jonas very well for years now, and I know his playstyle, I know the tricks he has up his sleeve, so I think I'm good.
You feeling good? Now, how are you feeling about this matchup, Jonas?
I feel like he's way more comfortable in the time wizard format, so I don't know. But I feel like I have a good chance beating him.
That's what we like to hear, confidence. Right, gentlemen, I want to see you shake hands for our final round of this. This is exciting. Take it away.
Thank you, Ed, and welcome back to the possibly last round of the Master versus Caster format. Again, I'm here with Jonas Koschel, and we are about to roll the dice. So, high roll?
Yeah, sure.
6. Not too good.
8.
8. Okay, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Good luck.
Good luck. Have fun, my friend. So, drawing 6-1 in the first turn, because this is 2010 Time Wizard. Yes, and oh yeah, I drew 6 already. So this is not my first turn. Okay. Yeah. During your first turn, I also want to distract you already by asking you, how was Worlds, Jonas?
It was great. I have to... Give me a second.
I understand.
I'm not very familiar with this format, but it's okay.
No pressure.
I'm gonna set a monster and set 2 cards face down and pass turn.
Right.
Yeah, Worlds was great. It was an insane experience. Just, yeah. I've never been to Asia and Japan before, so it's a very pleasant experience.
And how did the tournament go? I think you liked Japan, but did you also like the tournament?
Yeah, the tournament was alright, I guess. But I wasn't doing that well, so... yeah, I think I'm gonna use a bottomless trap.
I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna book off Moon that.
That works.
Get my Laquari to bed. And whew, alright. Already putting me in a tough spot here. Yeah, okay. Your turn, my friend. Oh,
targeting your set card.
Shrink.
Wow. I'm gonna draw.
I think I should have shrunk my Laquari. Then it
maybe
it stays on the field, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
good
to know. Too
bad. I'm gonna go to my main phase and flip summon.
All right.
I'm gonna use its effect, and then I'm gonna. I feel like I should
choose
target the set one.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah, and I'm gonna use the effect to mill as well.
I think I'm already in a really bad position. Okay, yeah.
Feels great.
Necro Gardener against my deck. Oh yeah, you saw the Laquari, but
yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Well, I'm just gonna Druid summon, I guess.
All right.
And go to battle phase and attack.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for me.
And then I'm gonna set 1, pass.
Okay. Draw a card. And it's your turn.
I'm gonna destroy that one as well.
You're leaving me no chance here. Okay.
Yeah. I guess I'll go to battle phase and attack.
Haha! It is not a gladiator beast. It is my Raikou.
Damn.
And I'm going to mill 3 cards.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's gone.
All right.
I'm gonna set 1 and pass.
Okay. Tough one. So, I'm gonna normal summon Remill.
Yeah. I think this one... Oh yeah, they all take out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to attack for 800 damage.
I feel like I'm supposed to use Necro Gardener now.
Kind of forgot about that one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, set one, pass.
Yeah.
So Jonas, to get back to the interviewing part
Yeah.
as well. What are your goals for this season? Like, you have achieved Worlds twice by grinding for the regional points. Is this going to be a thing this season again?
I don't think so, because I don't have the time to go to that many events. But I'll try to. And also it really depends how well I'm doing, so yeah, I don't know. Also it's very stressful, to be honest, to be traveling a lot, and yeah. But maybe at some point I might get a chance to get to a final of YCS again. That's like the goal.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get to
and you
next.
try to win it this time,
Yeah,
right?
maybe. Just maybe. Yeah, I'm just gonna banish this one. To summon a Chaos Sorcerer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna use its effect to banish your monster. Damn. It negates, right? And destroys.
Yeah. Negates and destroys. This is the Solemn Strike of Gladiator Beasts.
Alright.
Please don't have a normal summon now. Because this is all I have.
I should have attacked, right? Damn.
I mean, then I could have Prison or Book or something and run into it, so...
It's end of battle phase.
Yeah.
When they... Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna set one and pass.
Alright. Draw a card. Alright.
That seems like a good one.
I got this deck from Joshua Schmidt, who played in the first round, and this is spicy. Okay.
I mean, he won, right?
Yeah.
Has to be good.
Oh, he did win. Ramello attack.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use this one and mill 3 again. 1, 2, and 3.
No value. Oh, nice.
No value, unfortunately.
Set one more card, and I'll pass it over to you, Jonas.
Draw.
How many YCS tops do you have by now? Do you even count them anymore?
No. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like it maybe 10 or something, but yeah, I don't feel like I'm keeping good track of them. Go.
Okay. Draw a card.
Very weird. Is this gonna be Heavy Storm?
Heavy Storm does.
Oh, is Heavy Storm not allowed?
Oh, it
Wait.
is.
Okay.
Legacy of Yatagara soon.
You draw a card, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That does nothing.
Great. I like that.
I feel like Pot of Everest would be decent now.
No. Don't draw that.
Okay, I'll set this one, and I'll pass it over to you.
I'll draw.
What a fantastic game so far.
Yeah.
Both players really
I'm
in
just
their
gonna
engine.
summon Dark Dragon, I guess.
Oh, well, of course. Sure.
I'm gonna use Dark Dragon's effect.
No, Jonas, go ahead.
To banish
Let
one.
me check your graveyard first,
Yeah,
okay?
Sure.
Okay.
It's only 2 darks now.
Yeah. Fair.
To destroy your set card.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Good one. And I'm gonna go to battle phase and attack.
All right, so I'm at 4,400 life points now.
Yeah. And then your turn.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Your turn.
Draw.
Okay.
4,400, you say,
Yes.
no? Huh.
Ah, you're up to something. I
Yeah.
can sense it. Two cards in hand.
2 cards in hand, and I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna use this one and use its
Yeah.
effect.
That's
I feel like that.
I think the play is pretty straightforward.
I think so too. No, there's
Oh,
no
wait.
Shiroko. It's not that straightforward,
Okay.
but I feel like.
Yeah, I still see a line there.
Yeah, I think so too, especially when you're at 4,400.
So this is what happens with the pro players. They like see the lines. And
Yeah.
now, like the gears are starting to grind.
Yeah,
It's a tough one.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm supposed to play around gods as best as I can.
Yeah. I mean, just having Dark Arm Dragon on the field is playing around gods, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Not
that's
to
true.
help my opponent or something.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just gonna use it and put a card on top.
How has testing been for YCS Dortmund? Do you like the format? What are the decks that you're looking forward to play against?
Looking forward? I don't know. But I'm expecting a lot of tier element, purely the Chimera stuff, and obviously Unchained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unchained is the deck to beat.
I think I'm going to Battle Phase now. Attack. 400.
Okay, 4,000. 2/6.
Attack.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes.
Are you really sure
With
about this?
Yeah.
I could have Sphere Koribo, which wasn't out at the time.
I think I can play around that.
And we
Let's
are
go.
0-5. The casters have lost every single match.
Yeah.
Jonas, how does it feel to be such an amazing victor here in this matchup?
Yeah, definitely. Summoned Dark Arm Dragon perfectly, I feel like. Yeah. To be fair, I have not played this format that much, but it's cool, like, trying out the old cards. To be honest, I think this is like almost the time I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In the primary school.
You started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With Blackwings, right?
Yes, yes. It's my favorite deck, for sure, because I was watching the 5Ds anime, and Crow Hogan was my favorite, obviously. I mean, he's taking care of kids.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
He's a really cool character.
And then I had to start with Blackwings.
So how come we are not seeing you play Blackwings at a YCS?
Yeah,
the deck is good.
I actually have almost all the Blackwing cards in existence, but I didn't bring myself to play it like yet, but maybe some point. There was, at the last YCS, was some guy playing Blackwings, and he like almost reached top card, I think. And that made me reconsider Blackwing as an option. I mean, it's a fan favorite for sure, right?
I mean, the player was Batuhan, right?
Yeah.
So he lives and breathes Blackwing.
Yes, yes.
So he has played the deck in and out at every single event so far.
Yeah.
Do you think you can top that with your pure skill?
I don't know. I think it's tough. I feel like he's way more familiar with like the newer
Blackwing cards.
Blackwing
for sure
cards.
an advantage.
Because I honestly, the last time I played that deck, it's been quite a while. So yeah, maybe. But in general, I feel like this format is very diverse, and I honestly don't know what you're supposed to bring here. So I'm looking forward to the decks doing well.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped, not gonna lie.
Definitely. I think that is a really good closing word so far. So, guys, we are just going right back to the live matches in just a minute. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Hey duelists, let's rev it up again with Duelist Nexus. The spirits unite into one and form the Road of Light. Limit over Excel Synchro. Let's rev it up, Cosmic Quasar Dragon. New tuners, new monsters, the all-powerful Crimson Dragon. 100 new cards, Duelist Nexus. 9 cards per pack, each pack sold separately.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the coverage for YCS Dortmund 2023. I'm here with Pierluigi Sorrentino for an Italian interview yet again. And obviously, first of all, how do you feel?
Pretty excited about the event, quite confident.
Okay, nice. We've had the pleasure of seeing you in action back, especially at the Italian National Championship, which was in Bologna. And obviously, we gotta mention that the next YCS on the line will be YCS Bologna, December 8 to 10. And finally, we're going back to Italy for our YCS. So how do you feel about that tournament?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially because a lot of people maybe you won't see around at foreign YCSs, where like you would only see your Italian friends at nationals and stuff like that, especially for me because I don't travel to a lot of regionals. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely, and it's as you mentioned, it's a great way for all the Italian community, which has always been thriving, and you know, numbers are growing and growing, to actually get an event, and maybe will resemble a lot more the national championship. I have a question for you. So since you've had a bit of experience traveling around, do you feel more pressure, or like do you feel it's more easy or tougher to play when you're in Italy at an event, or does it change? Does it not change at all?
No, I don't think it changes at all now.
Okay, not at all. Okay, nice. Because we had other players have different opinions on that, and some of them argued that they want to win even more to, you know, represent their country. That is something that you don't feel the same, I guess.
I don't think I could want to win more than I want to win right now.
Fair enough. Okay, so that's a good way to seeing it, and yeah, absolutely. Regardless, obviously coming back to Bologna, a place that we have not been for a YCS ever, so that would be exciting. You have been there, I think, multiple times for events, probably even for other reasons. But what do you think of the city? It's a great attraction, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a cool city, good food as well, which is something, you know.
Food is amazing. Yeah.
It's a perk of Italian events, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we are definitely looking forward to that. And as we have mentioned, obviously there is a lot of competition on the line, even this weekend. We're expecting huge numbers as always. And between the communities, especially Dortmund last year, Italians did show up strong, and we had the all-Italian finals with Vincenzo against Mario. And what do you think in general the Italian community stands now? Do you have you know, some of the players that you look up to, or you think are really good contenders for taking that title outside of yourself, I would say?
Mainly my friend and teammate Andrea Zanotti.
Okay.
I think he's one of the greatest minds in the game.
Yeah, fair enough. And he's not from too far from Bologna.
He's from Bologna.
Yeah, he's from Bologna, exactly. So maybe he will have even more of the home advantage, and we will see how that plans out. But before we say farewell, we actually want to switch up languages real quick and go back to Italian, because as mentioned, Bologna is coming up, and we want to send a message maybe to your Italian friends or fans, we could say. So feel free to, you know, say hi to whatever friends, or say anything you want to them.
Una bella regaz, un saluto a tutti I ragazzi del Piave e vi aspetto a Bolo.
Yeah, so nice, nice hearing from you, and of course we want everybody, not just us Italians, going to Bologna. And before though, we need to find out what's going to happen this weekend at YCS Dortmund. Hopefully we'll get to see you in action as well in one of our future matches. We wish you best of luck. And guys, thank you again for being with us. Final reminder, YCS Bologna coming up. The next YCS on the line, December 8 to 10. But for now, keep watching, because we'll be back with more action from YCS Dortmund 2023.
Here we are, one last time for our first day of coverage here at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series live in Dortmund. It's round 9, the final round of Swiss today on the Saturday. So in front of me, I have Lucas Voss and Ludger Vandenberg, who are ready to take this final round of today's coverage off right away. So guys, we're going to do a quick high roll to see who's going to start. So we're going to start with Lucas there. That's an 8. And that is also an 8. Here we go again. All right, a 9. And also a 9. This is statistically unlikely at this point. 7. Okay, 8. Are you going to go first? Okay, Lucas is going to go first. So one more time, going to hand you over to our amazing commentary trio who are going to take you through our final round of today. Round 9, boys, take it away.
Thanks, Ed. So as he said, this is going to be our last round of day 1. And that's round 9 of YCS Dortmund. So after that very intense dice roll battle, we did have a winner. And we've got another kind of unique matchup. We've been having unique matchups almost every round today, yeah. So we've got on a super heavy Samurai Vanquish Soul player. I'm really excited to see this.
Totally. And also, even though pretty heavily hit on the last Forbidden Unlimited list update, Dragon Link still going strong here at the top table, still being with an X1-1 score. So it's going to be Dragons versus Vanquish Soul, which is a really, really nice matchup. And I think, as it is late already, as we have been waiting for this round quite a bit, let's dive into the action of round number 9 here at YCS Dortmund 2023.
We're kicking things off here for round number 9, and both players are X1-1, starting to really lose those all-important lifelines as they approach day 2. So going to be really desperate to win this one, I think. And it's looking like a good start from Ludger here, who's got those dragon cards that have been around for oh so long and have been a classic part and repertoire of the Dragon Link arsenal, still running those rocket monsters.
You're a big fan of this deck, Nadir, right? I've seen you picked it up yourself, playing with it.
I've played it through all of its iterations, from Halka Fibrax and Smoke Grenade, all the way down to where we are now with
I don't know.
No more.
It seems like Ludger is a little nervous because he just drew 6 cards for his opening hand, which is, of course, not the number of cards he was supposed to have there. Because in the end, who did even win the die roll? I think Lucas actually did end up winning, right? Yeah, Lucas did win.
Maybe not. Lucas is about to...
Yeah, Lucas is indeed about to start, and he's getting mad in love as he's summoning Dr. Madlove there. First Vanquish Soul card, which is going to grab him a Spell or Trap card from the archetype.
I think as a starting card for Lucas, it's probably quite a long way down the list of what you want to start with, right? Because he's got all of his super heavy samurai cards, so there are 6 possible kind of starters for that, being the 3 motorbikes and the 3 Wakauchis. And he's also got 3 Soul Rasen, which again is kind of preferable to opening up with the Mad Love. So this is like, yeah, starter number 7 in order,
you
maybe.
Really need the Rasen. Access to Rasen is crucial for Vanquish Soul, and there wasn't any, and therefore he's just passing it over after searching out the Dust Devil, probably setting that card. And now Lucas immediately going for the Book of Moon effect of the Dust Devil there to book that safer. But I can tell you, Dragon Link, since the beginning of days, has been playing through 1 or 2 interruptions with ease, so I would not be surprised if he can do it here again.
Yeah, there's a lot of way to extend in Dragon Link, from Quick Launch to Chaos Space, although now limited. There's a lot of just other cards that work really well here. We can see from his hand he's actually got
nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, neither they look like Chaos Space, but it's not actually Chaos Space.
That is so untypical for the Dragon Link strategy. That 1 Book of Moon was enough to completely shut him down there.
I feel like now with the limit to Chaos Space, it can happen a lot more frequently, especially if your opponent doesn't give you any lights or darks in the graveyard.
You really do notice it as you play the deck, because very slowly and consistently over like multiple years now, the deck has been losing ways to actually start the engine. And, you know, 2 more Chaos Space, don't forget Magnamut as well now at 2. Just less and less ways to really help you extend. So looks like we're going to go for the Link 1 here, one of the strongest cards in the archetype. I mean, Link 1s in general. feeds really well into the strategy.
Yeah, but it is Rock of the Vanquisher, and that immediately is going to use its effect to add that Dr. Madlov back to the hand of Lucas. So, still no light or dark monsters there in the graveyard, right?
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the less fortunate aspects of running Bestials. They're quite around throughout all of the metagame, but in this deck and this archetype, not too common to have darks in the graveyard often, especially when you're recycling with the Rock.
But, I mean, that looked like a pretty desperate play, didn't it? I think in Ludgar's hand, he has one Bestial. I would have definitely considered to go after that Dr. Madlov there, because that would have left Lucas with only the Rock of the Vanquisher on the field. And now he has the 2 monsters, and he also gets to add back the, or to add the Continue for the first time here.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Has he got a Bestial inside?
Yeah,
he
got a
Druid Worm, yeah. A big downside, again, of not starting with the super heavy Samurai engine is now none of the cards really work the way you want to because you've already put a spell in your graveyard. So I can see the Soul Piercer in the hand of Lucas, and fetching a super heavy Samurai cards now feels like it isn't really going to achieve much.
Ooh, but it seems like we are now ourselves going to use Bestials, and therefore it pays off for Ludger to hold his own Druid Worm, because that will deny Lucas access to his Magnamoot, and now again there are no lights or darks in the graveyard anymore, so that Magnamoot is not going to be able to use its effect soon.
It's really interesting that he chose to hold it. You know, I was thinking, is this like a misstep or something? But good chance maybe he was playing around something like Thrust or Talents, and it actually paid off as we were able to dodge the opponent's Magnum.
Ooh, and immediately now he has a monster on the field to use Shadow's Light. And honestly, that is not a very, very popular card in the deck, but it has been a recent addition to the deck with Battle of Legends Monstrous Revenge, and therefore we do activate it. Oh, that's... Okay, we are chaining the effect of Dr. Madlov, though.
And it's just going to go straight back to the hand.
Indeed.
Shadow's Light not going to resolve?
We will have to double read on Shadow's Light, but it seems like that's the case.
It specials a light from the deck actually with the same original type and level, so if you don't have one on the field, then I guess it will just resolve without effect there.
Totally. So we also get to Ash the Talons, which was meant to draw cards and therefore is being met with the Ash Blossom, but there is the normal summon of the Tracer now, so this time it looks like Ludger has some more potential to extend here at least.
What? Yeah, you can't use the second copy of Shadow's Light, I don't think, so what's the plan?
I mean, we also probably have access to Boot Sector Launch, so maybe go into Striker Dragon, summon back the Rocket Tracer, go into Romulus, search ourselves a Dragon Ravine.
Magnamut as well, though, that's the thing.
Oh, you're right,
we managed to get our Druid Worm back as well, so we're going to see some deja vu.
So, ooh, we just used the effect of Tracer, destroyed itself to bring out the Caliber, so that also, of course, would end up having bringing 2 monsters to the field, but one of them then is not a Striker Dragon anymore in that scenario.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he's already drawn the Boot Sector Launch, so there's much
less
he
has
of
it
a
already,
reason
I see.
To make the Striker Dragon.
You're right, you're right.
So maybe we're going to see a Boot Sector and then try and interrupt it with a Magnamut and then the Druid Worm.
So there is the Boot Sector. And Lucas, is he going to respond to it? I think there is no point in responding right away, but as soon as he uses the effect, it seems like a worthy Magnamoot.
Oh, definitely.
Or Druid Worm.
Well, it's going to be both.
So,
Magnamut activates in the hand, targeting the Rocket Tracer. We chain our own Druid Worm, and it looks like we're going to have a bit of a bestial fight here.
1, 2, 3, all the Bestials in the house, but the one from Lucas is going to end up resolving, banishing the Tracer ultimately, and I think Ludger from there on cannot really do anything anymore.
Yeah, he's not really opened that well, you know, there's not a lot of power spells or extenders there, like the quick launch and stuff, so it looks like he's going to go into the battle phase and attack over the Rock, but protection is utilized.
Yeah, you can't attack Rock of the Vanquisher while you control, I think while you control a Vanquish Soul or something like that.
It says, your opponent's monster can only target monsters you control with the highest attack. So he would only be able to attack the Druid Worm.
Oh, there we go.
All right, this is the most important part of the engine here. Raisin has been picked up.
Finally, the Raisin is there. This is the heart and soul of the Vanquish Soul deck, and he really finally, even though it's already a good position for him, finally gets this card onto the field.
Yeah, we've got the Vanquish Soul cards, but next we'll get the Vanquish Hearts.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe the Vanquish hard cards are actually the super heavy cards. Maybe they have super heavy hearts. You don't know, right?
Do you think he's already shown the super heavy cards? I don't think he'll mind showing another one here.
Okay, now the Raisin effect going to reveal a fire monster and a dark monster, destroying the Rocket Caliber.
Yeah, so I think what we might see here is just the special summon of the Magnamut as well on our own turn, and then you just have enough damage here to...
Well, that Druis Worm is still in the hand.
It absolutely is.
This is going to happen again and again. And there's not really any way you can organize this so that your Magnamut beats their Druis Worm, because it's not a quick effect.
The thing is, we have Dr. Madlove on the field, which is also a quick effect. So as soon as he summons out the Druis Worm, we can then just take care of it with the Dr. Madlove if we have the requiring attributes in our hand to reveal. And I think we have plenty of those at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a big fistful of monsters.
There's
So
also
maybe
the potential, if he summons his own Druis Worm, maybe we can go into some sort of Chaos Angel play.
I think if you just activate the Magnamut now, and then that should force out your opponent's Druis Worm, and as Basti suggested, then you can just bounce it back to your opponent's hand.
Yeah, a lot of different ways to address this. Vanquish Soul actually proving itself to be quite a versatile deck. You know, you can incorporate so many different engines. We can see here, obviously, Bestial's putting in a lot of work, specifically against Dragon Link, but there's also the Super Heavies, a main portion of this deck here.
Okay, so now finally also for Ludger, there is going to be a Dragon resolving. We are immediately going to bounce it back to the hand, and I think that's a lot of damage on the field. Ooh, the Valius, is it going to stay on the field or not?
Yeah, you've got to be careful here, because the Madlove bounces whichever monster has the highest defense points. So I'm not sure of the defense of Soul Valius, but maybe it's too much?
So return one monster with the lowest defense on the field to the hand.
That's not Druis Worm, that's Soul Valius.
That's pretty interesting, man.
Well, we get to reveal for 3 effects this time.
Maybe Soul Valius is going to pop itself.
Dr. Madlove. Druis Worm. What are we end up doing here? We kind of played into our own trap there. So, okay, we are going to end up destroying the Druis Worm. That will trigger its effect, though. Going after the Druis Worm as well. So, I think Lucas is losing access to ending the game here this turn.
Yeah, he has still got the continue in his graveyard, but I don't think there's any way. That summons a monster in defense mode, which is not so helpful when you want to attack your opponent.
Yeah, also currently there are no Vanquish Soul monsters in the graveyard, right? But if we end up giving Ludger another turn and...
we already
yeah, we already normal summon the Raz. I don't know if we used the effect of Rock. Yeah.
Okay, so now there is the Raisin.
Looks like it's going to be a measly 3,000.
We could also have the option to go into a rank 4 here, now that we have the Madlove and the Raisin there. And I mean, looking through his list, I see there's, for example, the Battling Boxer King Dempsey. I don't know, that's probably like the connection point of the Super Heavy Samurai and the Vanquish Soul stuff. Don't know whether you want to get into your Super Heavy Samurai stuff right now, though. But we also, of course, can go for Springen's Merrymaker, which is being summoned here, which might as well be the way to get into our gigantic champion Sagas. And that, and of course, is going to add ourselves the Therian King Regulus to our hands.
So as you mentioned the Dempsey before. That's a great way to make use of your Super Heavy Samurai engine, but also if you already have the Soul Rasen, then you can go ahead and add a Therian King Regulus this way.
Okay, and I mean, that combo from Merrymaker into Sagas into the Regulus is not only giving you the Regulus, but also it's giving you potential Zeus with 4 materials, which is just huge, and there he is.
The connection of this deck between all the various archetypes it has is honestly quite phenomenal. I'm really impressed with just how much this thing synergizes into various other archetypes. Bestials, Springans for the Machine, and the Regulus, the Therian. The deck works out really quite well.
Yeah, I like it as well, for sure. I think the main downside though is if you only draw like one part of them. If you like have one Vanquish Soul and then like only Dark Monsters or something, you just don't get to combine them very well. But if you have multiple engines available, it's just outstanding for sure. But that is also an outstanding top deck there from Ludger, picking up the quick launch. But still, he's staring down that 4 material Zeus, which is also quite amazing.
And the Magnamut, which has been in the hand since the beginning of time. At this point, it's had a good day in his hand.
Absolutely. So Tracer back to the field, numero dos.
I think he just activated the... Yeah, he's going to go and summon out another monster from the main deck here. Is it time for Recharger, perhaps?
Probably. Should be his only target left there at this point, and there it is, Rocket Recharger.
Do love the audacity to summon it in attack mode.
Yeah, it is quite fun, isn't it? I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference.
Probably
yeah,
not.
He's quite behind here, especially drawing multiple cards like Shadow's Light is not really what you want to see.
Is this legal to activate Rock of the Vanquisher when you don't have a monster in your graveyard?
Let's check. Let's read up on Rock of the Vanquisher
It seems very
again.
suspicious.
So,
Suspicious,
I mean, you can special summon one from your hand. Probably that's the effect you're going to activate here, right?
Maybe that's the effect you activated, yeah.
Yeah, chaining the Zeus, and then on resolution you'll be able to get the monster out of your hand here, and then get a trigger effect off the Raisin.
Okay, that makes
Seems
me
about
less
right.
suspicious. And he definitely had one in his hand, being the Caesar.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So that also takes care, of course, of the entire field that Ludger has, and I think the last card in Ludger's hand is just going to be the Shadow's Light, which is not going to be able to turn around, and therefore Lucas and Vanquish Soul are taking down here game number 1. That is pretty impressive, and he did not even have like that also powerful Dimension Shifter that's obviously in this deck since the beginning of days. He did not have There Can Be Only One, which is also great versus Dragon Link, so he just has done it with Engine, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it can happen that if you don't have a great hand, but also your opponent doesn't have a great hand either, so you kind of get away with it. So we saw this really new cool card, Shadow's Light, but it seems to suffer maybe from the same kind of issue that Dragon Link is having, being so dependent on the normal summon.
Yeah, when was the last time I saw Dragon Link just losing to a single Book of Moon? I cannot remember it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
was insane.
it can happen like that just with so many consistency hits over multiple Forbidden Limited lists. I think it's proving to show why it wasn't even in our top 6 popular cards for this weekend.
True.
So it's kind of just hashtag fallen off.
Yeah, it does. It does really look like that, but I think we definitely don't have to or cannot rule out Ludger here just yet. I know him, he's from Berlin, he has been really winning multiple OTS championships over the last couple of weeks, so he has really been performing well with the deck. He knows the deck inside out, so I'm very, very sure that he might be able to come back from this year.
Basti, I thought it was going to be the Spanish. I didn't think you were
I can
Team
still
Germany.
support the German players, though. As I'm, of course, a member of the community myself, right?
There's a lot of gas in Dragon Link provided that we can hopefully not open a hand like that. I mean, you can see something like Borrow End is still an absolutely fantastic card, right? Like,
totally.
It's really difficult for so many of these decks to out. So ending on something like the Seals, the Borrow End, even just Seals by itself against Vanquish was really, really strong. Bouncing normal summons is quite rough.
Yeah.
But again, there's so many cool ways for Lucas to extend, just incorporating all of those different engines. And Bestials help going second. I think he's playing a lot of hand traps in his side deck as well, right?
We see Drone Lockboard in his side deck,
one.
which is a decent one against Vanquish Soul for sure. One card I'm kind of curious about is Full Force Virus. Is that going to be a card you side in against the Vanquish Soul deck? Does it make sense?
What is it, the 25 defense and lower one?
No, it's 15 defense and lower.
15 defense?
Yes,
I feel like that's...
I think the
they
Vanquish
have
Souls...
quite high defense, don't they? Mad Love.
Okay.
I can double check. We'll just look up the
Mad
Vanquish
Love
Soul
definitely
cards.
has 2,000.
So Bailey's is 1.5, Mad Love 2K, Heavy Borger 1.5.
Oh, maybe 1.5 is a magic
and
number.
Raisin is also 1.5, so it actually kind of is the magic number for the best ones of them, the starter ones of them. So maybe we are going to see that one coming in. And besides that, no crucial going first cards. Dimensional Barrier, of course, is one, but again, the deck is kind of problematic because it doesn't really rely on Exceed summoning. It's mainly Link summoning. Also, all the main deck monsters are super strong, so you can only just win with the main deck monsters, I think, personally. If you would have seen the super heavy Samurai engine, maybe Dimensional Barrier would look better, because obviously then there is Synchro summoning going on. But I think he revealed it at some point with one of the effects, right?
Yeah, there's a good chance he revealed the Soul Piercer in his hand.
Yeah, probably. Probably that happened, but now we don't have to question it anymore. As the players are ready, let's get into the action of Game 2 here now, a Round 9 feature match at YC's Dortmund.
Because a deck like Dragon Link has been around for so long, people are prepared for it. People are knowledgeable of its interactions, its key choke points. Whereas something like Vanquish Soul, while we have seen it in and out of success over the last couple of months, it's still maybe sort of always just been in the precipice of the meta, you know, sort of on the outskirts. And I think that for that reason, will Ludger be able to identify those key points of interaction for the deck? Will he know what the best cards are in his side deck? You know, I would assume if you're preparing your side deck for a YCS like this, you're probably not going to be familiar with your exact patterns and key cards you'd be bringing in against, you know, the 11th best deck or something, right?
Yeah, that's a fair point, because I feel like Vanquish Soul is quite far down. You've got a lot of decks to prepare for.
I mean, it made top 8 at the World Championship, guys. Please keep it up for Vanquish Soul. It's not that bad.
Well, Dragon Link got first. So.
That's true. That's true, for sure. But, I mean, looking at the side deck of Lucas as well, like, he seems to be pretty well prepared for the Dragon Link matchup, because I see a Dragon which is very powerful against the deck, which is Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, which is kind of having a comeback lately. It's pretty good versus Unchained. It's also decently well against Rescue Ace, and it's also decent versus the good old Dragon Link deck, of course. Are we just going to throw it onto the first Link summon here? Because I think I spotted this Lucas opening hand here.
I think it depends on how risky you want to be, right? Because you can get a lot of value once you establish, you know, something like Romulus Pisty. But I don't know if you want to wait that long, and it looks like Lucas is not going to let it get that far.
And I mean, we have other good cards to draw into, because in the side deck of Lucas, there's also Nibiru, which is a super powerful card, of course. And we saw the Bestials already in his main deck, so you definitely also want to draw into those.
It's one of the coolest advantage of Phantasme ever since it was first released around about 2019, I want to say. Being able to cycle and fix your hand so that you can, you know, take out the cards that maybe aren't so good going second, or try and draw into more disruption. Really powerful card, and also a little bonus effect on the field as well for targeting protection.
Yeah. I'm curious about it, because it's a card you kind of always love to have and activate. It just kind of feels good. But I feel like now Thrust and Talents are so popular. I'm curious about including it, because I feel like it's a good card, and it's definitely like gonna help you win, and it's gonna help you fix your hand a bit. But it's not a hugely impactful hand trap. It's not like a Nibiru, where if you resolve Nibiru, you're gonna have a massive impact on the game. So maybe you think it's worth giving up the opportunity.
Question,
Thrust.
do you like something like Ash these days?
Ash can be very, very impactful, though, against cards like Branded Fusion and Pot of Prosperity and so on.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the trade-off you take in this this kind of format, right? Like with something like Thrust and Talents being such impactful cards, it always feels kind of scary to just play hand traps in your deck that aren't super impactful. Ooh. Oh, this is a really important...
Okay,
all right.
My. We are just going Bestial after Bestial again.
So I was about to mention one of the downsides of Bestials here is that because you're giving your opponent a monster that, you know, because you control a monster, now you've turned on the quick effect of the Bestials in the Dragon Link matchup, so actually working out kind of poorly there for Ludger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's another downside already of the Phantasme.
Yeah, but this is definitely a good card to continue here for Ludger, because he has access to the baby dragons. There is the white dragon, and that is definitely going to be a starter here for sure, going into the Pisty, and probably going to link up into Romulus and potentially even more than.
I like the way that Lucas is kind of staking himself as the dragon player here, because he's got more dragons in play than Ludger on his first turn.
Mathematically accurate at this point in time.
Yeah, but I think he will get there. I think Ludger will catch up, honestly. And I mean, look, there's already a pretty big dragon,
MD.
so at least there's the biggest dragon now on the field of Ludger for now.
You know what I'd really like to see? I'm pretty sure you can summon from your hand with Red MD, so maybe summoning out that Bestial Magnum, getting a search, and then you can summon the Lubellion.
But having the Magnamut as an interruption in your hand is also pretty valuable.
Yeah, but it will search a Jerusalem or whatever. That's another...
Yeah, it just sort of replaces itself.
Fair.
I do quite like that. But yeah, we're going to continue with the Lubellion effect. We haven't seen too much of Lubellion this weekend, but started turning into a bit of a classic engine at this point for Dragon Link. The Regained by itself can just generate so much advantage.
Oh, there's the Romulus. So for second effort, are we just going to do good old Seal's Pass? But we have so far decided against it, but maybe we're still ending up in that position. It's still possible.
It's so rare to see it, because I think whenever you can make a Seal, you can make a Romulus and go a little bit further with Dragon Ravine.
True, for
Still have a lot of gas in the tank here, because we can just discard the Magnamut, and then the Regained on the opponent's turn can bring it back. But
yes,
actually Ludger choosing to just hold it for the opponent's turn.
So we are... Oh, we're sending the Levian here. And I mean, there already is a Cypher in the graveyard since we started with that. So I think Ludger, he even has two options here, because he might as well destroy the Magnamut and the Phantasma on the field, as they are quite scary, they are quite big.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing as well is that if you leave bodies up, it threatens your seals because it's so weak in terms of its attack. So they can kind of just go battle phase and force it out. But yeah, I quite like that idea of just clearing the field and setting up the seals after.
Yeah, so we also, of course, now get to trigger the regain, draw another card, and I think I saw a Noctovision Dragon, which has not been super popular anymore lately, but it's still a super strong card, which makes you draw into more cards later on. If you get to summon it, though. Does he even have a way to summon out another Dark Dragon there? Oh, okay. I mean, that's a Dark monster, at least, with the Dark.
Oh, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Oh, yeah.
That Magnamut is being destroyed and coming back.
Yep.
As a kind of zombie.
On the wrong side of the field.
I love this. So that's a light monster, that's a dark monster, and another dark monster. So we are going to destroy, and we don't even need to use our own Magnamut when we can just use the opponent's one. Look, that Magnamut now in the graveyard, but not for long, as Ludger wants to have it.
This Dragon deck just keeps on going. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
I think sometimes you can see just the difference between Game 1 and Game 2, right? Like that's kind of how Dragon Link sometimes ends up. You either have everything or you lose to a single disruption, like a Book of Moon.
I think, yeah, just getting that first card in play into the graveyard is so valuable.
So we keep on linking. There's Triple Burst. And do we finally... Yeah, there he is, the Noctovision Dragon.
Okay, so we do get Boral End at an absolute minimum, unless we do want to really focus on the Seals. And I do think Seals is just a really strong card against Vanquished Souls.
Borderland is a pretty good card overall too, though, I think.
Yeah,
did we end up with any rockets in graveyard?
That's the question, right? I think there aren't any.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
I kind of wanted to like reach out my hand and open Lucas' graveyard to check if there was a rocket.
We can't negate now.
Remember.
Yeah. Okay, so we do draw with the Nocto.
I mean, he might have one. I'm not sure.
He's got a Recharger in the hand, I suppose. Did we top deck that, or he must have already had it? Otherwise,
I think he's going
off the Nocto.
We're going end phase for Druisworm, so I don't know how much that Boral and Dragon there is going to do. So now both basically simultaneously going into the deck, resolving their Magnamuts, which were both Lucas Magnamuts basically, but still they are going to end up searching on the one hand a Druisworm, and for Lucas we're going to grab a Valius, which to me totally does not look like a dragon, but in fact is a dragon.
And the Boral End, remind me, is it can't be targeted by monster effects?
Targeted or destroyed by...
Or destroyed.
Yeah, it's really, really strong.
Because
loses to an Imperm though, potentially off the top.
Lucas's deck is, I mean, he's running the super heavy Samurai engine, so there's a ton of monsters in his deck.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think there's hardly any.
The thing I'm worried about though is like Ludger just doesn't have a negate on this Boral End. It's just a large monster, and I guess he's gonna try and just draw with regain.
Look, he's smiling into the camera. I think he just realized while Lucas was looking through his graveyard that there is no rocket monster in there.
Let's see if you can actually pick that up and notice and take advantage of it. I'm sure that's kind of what he was looking for there, and that's a good start.
There is this time the good super heavy Samurai card. It's Bakaushi, the one and only. It's going to activate its effect to special summon itself to the field. And I think we're going to activate Big Bankai. There he is.
Yeah, he's got these powerful cards like Boral End and Regain, but Graveyard just not quite set up to make use of them at the moment.
True, not even the Magnamut is in the graveyard now, so that Branded Regained Reborn effect is not that powerful.
This is why I feel like I would have preferred to go with the line of Dragon Ravine discarding the Magnamut that was resolved without effect because of the opponent's Magnamut.
Yeah.
And then in that sense, you can send the Absolutor, and then that gives you Tracer access. And then you'd be able to end on a Boral End with an actual negate. So I feel like that may have been a better option for Ludger, but we're here now, and we're just going to have to see how well we can contend with a Boral End untargetable, indestructible monster by card effects.
Yeah, it's always it's difficult to like not just go for it. I think sometimes your eyes just light up when you realize you can take your opponent's Magnamut. It's just such a fun thing to do, isn't it?
It looked so good. It looked so promising for sure. So we do end up searching the Soul Gaia booster through the Big Bankai. Then we equipped it and we specialed it to the field, so we now have 2 level 4 monsters, and one of them is a tuner. So if we want to go for Synchro 8 here, we are totally capable of doing that. There would, for example, be a Psy Framelord Omega, haven't seen that one in a while. And the other option would be Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, which doesn't look too promising because there's no level 2 available to him.
I'm just looking at the extra deck for Lucas. What deals with the Boral End?
Zeus, potentially?
Yeah, Zeus, but there's no way to attack with an XYZ and have it survive, right?
I mean...
But even so, Zeus feels very unpleasant. Like,
yeah, I agree.
You have to give up your whole field? I'm curious. What is...
I'm not sure how Lucas is dealing with this, because he's not certain himself the way he's been handling these cards. He sort of fanned out the Axel and then decided that, no, we're actually not going to overlay, and then now it looks like we're separating the cards again.
And we are looking for Phoenix, and that Phoenix could even be co-linked.
It is very cool, yeah, to have a nice co-linked monster.
There it goes.
Does he play Underworld?
That's the wrong way around. I don't think Bakaushi wants to go to the graveyard there.
No, there's no Underworld Goddess. Yeah, that was a nice call, though, because that's a card that's been picking up in popularity a lot, specifically, I think, to deal with Ex-Pearly Noir. And I guess as a side effect, Boral Savage.
Honestly, I think Zeus might be the only option he has. And
how do you Zeus, though, when you're... Like your Xyz monster is just going to die, right?
Yeah, so you would have to have a way to go into an Xyz and then go into another Xyz. And I mean, the Bakaushi was free, so we have not even normal summoned so far. So I think there's a way, but we just gave up 2 of our level 4 monsters for Nightmare Phoenix. So I don't really know whether we can still get there.
Does Dempsey have any protection? I feel like some of the Battle in Boxer effects... Oh, we're just coming over here.
Yeah, so... welcome back to the table. Our players are just in the middle of a judge call here, probably to verify just exactly what happened. As you noticed, I think what occurred there was he actually picked up his cards, began to overlay, and then separated them. So
you kind of want to be clear on that for sure.
Yeah, so there might be just an issue here to make sure that Link 2 was legal, or whether they are going to be made to commit to the Xyz summon instead. So that's probably what our judges are just clarifying right now.
Yeah, but that was a pretty good point of view. Like, battling boxers, by their name, they sound like they would be good at like fighting and maybe survive a battle with a Boral Land Dragon. But reading the battling boxer Dempsey, I don't think there's any kind of battle destruction or protection.
I'm showing my age here. I remember when the original battling boxers were released, and I think between them they had a lot of ways of not being destroyed. So I was just wondering if Dempsey also had a similar effect. I mean, I kind of... Yeah.
I mean, do you remember the irony of Glassjaw? Was that it? Like, if it's targeted for an attack, it destroys itself?
I don't remember them that well.
Dempsey actually is one of the new and cool kids. He doesn't play with the old guys anymore.
He doesn't box, I guess.
All right, well, type 1 in the chat if you remember Lead Yoke. I mean, that was...
I remember. That was the one I was thinking of.
Okay, okay.
That was a nightmare
That was horrible to get over. Speaking of, I used to go into... I played Evil Swarm at the time. I used to go Evil Swarm Bahamut, the steel one.
Okay, yeah, that's
how you that's how you eat out the Lead Yoke.
Oh, but we are back to the table, so seems like we have figured out everything, and that Phoenix still ended up on the field.
Yeah, so not being forced to commit to the Xyz summon as they did initially, go for that Link. And yeah, they're going to destroy the Regained.
And we draw a card. Ooh, I think we picked up Rysard there, which is nice because it's an additional level 4 monster, which could end up in a way to Zeus, but... Oh, wait, like... If we have Nightmare Phoenix on the field...
only your Colic monsters.
Only Colic monsters you control can't be destroyed by battle.
Yeah, might protect things from being destroyed by battle.
We'll have Link Xyz monsters soon, don't worry.
What, you mean like Sprite Gigantic?
Yeah, true, there's one, basically.
But can you co-link him?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, stake your soul, everyone! We are revealing a fire monster, which we just have drawn with the Kashtira Rysard, and we are going to search through this into our probably just Raisin, I would think.
I mean, none of the Vanquished Soul monsters target your opponent's monsters, but the only one, they either destroy them or try and bounce the monster with the lowest defense. But Boral Savage Boral End even does not have any defense points, so you could try and argue that it's got the lowest defense. But
it's got 4 defense.
I'm not sure a judge would back you up.
It doesn't have... No, sorry. My joke didn't even work there. It's got 5 defense.
Okay, so Dr. Madlove coming onto the field now. Previously searched by the Raisin. So there's more and more monsters coming to the field. And I think like now we are at the situation where we could have gone for a Zeus line. Because we had the option to go for rank 4 in main 1. And then now there was also 2 more level 4 monsters. So that would have worked, but now it doesn't anymore. On the other hand, I think we drew into the Rysard through the draw effect of Nightmare Phoenix. Therefore, maybe we didn't even have that option before. So I don't think we can blame Lucas really here so far.
I like that it's quite an uncommon thing to do, so maybe you don't think of it immediately, but I like your suggestion there, yeah. So you can make one rank 4, attack with it, and then make another rank 4 later, and then level that up into a Zeus, because usually every time you think of just you know, overlaying over the monster that battle, but it doesn't actually care which monster battle. It just cares
And I mean,
the annex
we saw such a powerful line by Lucas there in game 1, right? He even has the option to go Merrymaker, Sagas, search out Irregulars, and then go Zeus. So like, he would have gotten still so much value out of that. So I think I would have really liked it overall.
I feel like he's definitely sort of crumbling under the pressure here, realizing that he's in such a commanding position because there's no regained available to special summon. The Boral End doesn't have a negate. So realistically, if he can just out Boral End, he's kind of got this one in the bag. But it seems like we may have potentially done a bit of a misstep here, as we're just kind of struggling to deal with this Boral End, just putting guys on the field, which admittedly isn't too bad in and of itself. I mean, it's hard to suggest that someone can out-advantage dragons, but it looks like Lucas is doing a decent job of it.
Well, I mean, Boral End will make short work of these guys, right? It can attack all of your opponent's monsters.
Yeah, it can. All right.
I mean, that works. We can actually attack, but the big problem is like Boral End can just not be destroyed by battle. So yeah, you can try, but it ends up not getting you anywhere. And I think we're
Lucas
packing
has just
up,
scooped it
right?
up, right?
I'm amazed if Lucas has conceded there.
Like, both of them don't really... I mean, Ludger looks a little more happy, right? I think Ludger has won this game number 2, but I'm not even 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, Lucas certainly does not look super happy. So that does look like we are going to have a game number 3 here, and the score is even from here on. So maximum pressure now even for game number 3 in the last round of the day. And they both were already shaking here in game 2, and now the pressure is even getting upped a little bit more.
Perhaps not a matchup that they're familiar with, you know. I guess a Vanquish Soul and then Dragon Link with Vanquish Soul. Maybe it's not something they've really practiced or something. There was a lot of just strange decision making, I feel like.
It's late. That's
I'm just
explanation
so
for all of it.
You just concede to that, like. Does Lucas just say, okay,
well, maybe he's realized he just doesn't have an out, right?
Well, like, can you stop? Like, if he just makes one game 3, is he just going to concede again? Like,
no, I think the idea maybe is potentially, you know, you got to pay attention to the clock.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes better to, you know, lose the battle, win the war, and then you can guarantee that you go first in game 3. But I guess, you know, Vanquish Soul is a deck that does kind of well in time, doesn't it?
that is true. It does have that cheeky burn effect.
What's his name?
Heavy Borger.
Oh, is that how you say it? Okay.
That's pretty funny.
What would you call it?
Heavy
Borger.
Burger.
Heavy Borger. It's definitely an O, not a U.
I would say Borger, pretty certainly.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's check out the going first cards here for Lucas. How do you in general like Dimensional Barrier versus Dragon Link? I mean, it has Link in its name, which is kind of not great for Dimensional Barrier, but still there's quite a bit of synchro summoning happening, right?
Yeah, if only it said Link on it, then it would be a perfect card, you know.
There's like
it's not spellbound.
There's like a world where you like try and commit to some sort of like Despater line, and then you kind of get caught out with something like a Dimensional Barrier, but
yeah,
not something I'm really a fan of. I think Lucas's engine is quite well suited for this matchup, and if you bring in those Drolls on top of it, I think he's going to be in a decent spot when he gets to go first.
I'm also looking at the one copy of There Can Be Only One. Maybe he misunderstood the text of the card. Maybe he was like, you can only play one of it.
You can only play the only one.
one.
Of course, he misunderstood that one for sure. I think that must be the explanation.
Yeah, because that's an absolutely devastating card against Dragon Link. I don't think
generally, I don't know why you wouldn't play that at 3 in Vanquish Soul. It seems like a really strong, just, you know, I can understand not maining it because, you know, you lose the dice roll, it doesn't really, you know, help you too much potentially if you can stick a field, but going first, I mean, side decking, that seems incredible.
Me personally, I even like it going second. Honestly, it seems so impactful right now. There's so many different decks. I think it's just a great pick overall. But I mean, this card is certainly going to come in. Let's see what else is coming in and whether he's going to be able to find a raise in this guy, because game 1 he was lacking access to that, but maybe now in game 3 he's going to summon it again. So let's go for the last game of the day in round number 9 here at YC's Dortmund.
Our players are ready, and Lucas is most likely going to want to go first here. Fist bump, nice sportsmanship as we round out the end of another YCS Day 1.
Oh yeah. New season off to a good start. Let's see whether it still is going to be a good start for Lucas here.
Well, that's a beautiful start for Lucas.
Oh, the Kaushi once again. Lovely, lovely.
I can also see a copy of Stake Your Soul in hand as well.
Is he going to stake his soul again?
He's
That's a pretty high stake at this point. Like double staking your soul, that's pretty heavy. Super heavy, I could say.
Oh, please stop.
I thought Leo wasn't here. You know?
I kind of took some classes by him. So now this time we can search out the Soul Piercer, also summoning it out.
Okay, actually not going to overlay instead. Looking like that Omega might be the one we're going for here.
Oh yes, it is indeed. Has been a while since I saw this card. Definitely haven't seen it yet today. But we are also, of course, going to activate the Kaushi back into the Pendulum Scale. So we might even see some Pendulum summoning here.
Oh, that's cool, actually. I hadn't really thought of Pendulum summoning the
Vanquish Souls.
The Vanquish Souls. Yeah, I was wondering. I was kind of, my brain was just whirring for a second there because I was like, don't you normally not have to use the normal summon when you do this, you know, the play off of Super Heavy Samurais? But I guess in this case he decided he would rather get his Pendulum Scale set up and get an extra search than keep the normal summon.
Yeah.
Question is, does he have a Vanquish Soul to be able to actually access the rock?
Yeah, that's the thing.
He definitely has Stake Your Soul in his hand, so he'd just need a fire monster and then he's good to go. But if he didn't have it, then like almost certainly he would have made Battle Boxer Dempsey rather than Omega, right? So
I agree. So there comes the Omega. What is he going to get out of the hand there? The cool thing with Omega is both players will see and know what that was, and that was a Noctovision here, which is not going to be in the hand of Ludger anymore.
Pretty strong card to have as an extender when you actually manage to stick a dragon, but that's the problem. It's looking quite hard, I think, based on Ludger's hand, if he's going to be able to stick one here.
Okay, we do have a fire monster, and it's the Rysart, so I think we're far away from being done here. I think there's still way more things to happen. Raisin coming down, of course.
I think we're going to see the full combo, shall we say, of what you really want to try and do with this deck here. Omega ripping a card, we've got access to the Vanquish Souls, and the Super Heavy Samurais bridging that gap really nicely as well.
I mean, we don't even need to lock ourselves into Exceed monsters here because we can just Pendulum summon out the Rysart. So there are plenty of ways, I think, here for Lucas to do a whole lot of stuff, honestly.
I'm interested, like, is Omega really the premium thing you can do, like as a Synchro / rank 4?
I mean, once upon a time, there was a card called Magical Dragon. Not in this deck, probably, but yeah. I miss him. Anyway.
But on the other hand, there is Abyss Dweller in his extra deck, which is of course amazing versus all the tier decks running around today, but it's also not bad versus Dragon Link, is it?
Yeah, I could have considered using it.
Shuts off a few cards. It's not like super duper, but it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Absol Cypher, Noctovision, which is not even there anymore. So
and the baby dragons.
True, those as well.
So
there are actually quite a few things.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Also Saronir.
It's annoying enough that you'll notice it, I think, if you're playing dragons into a Dweller. So obviously something he would have prepared for the Unchained matchup. Extremely important in that.
Oh, that is a Pendulum Summon now. I think this might be the first Pendulum Summon of the day, actually. And we are summoning out 4 monsters. That is quite the Pendulum Summon there.
First Pendulum Summon of the season.
Yeah, indeed it is.
Am I missing something? Don't the scales of the Super Heavy Samurais go to 4 when you have a spell in your grave? Or is that not all of them have that effect?
So Benkei does not have that effect. Let me check with the good old
Wakaushi.
Wakaushi
yeah,
as
it might
well.
just be their other effect. Some of them have this effect, but
both of them don't, I can confirm.
Okay, maybe it's another Super Heavy Samurai that has an effect that they all obviously don't want you to have.
I think
a
the
spell
Pendulum ones
grave.
specifically are the ones that kind of don't really interact with the graveyard, right?
Okay, no, I think there are, there's a couple that have this effect.
So this time,
not.
that's another Synchro 8, is it? It is! Is there a
Axel
level 2
Synchron.
monster in the graveyard though?
Yeah, the,
was there the bike?
motorbike. Yeah.
Oh, the bike was in there already, so we do get to summon out a Synchro 10 then later on. Yep, there comes the bike.
Really strong opening here, honestly. Like, this is as good as a combo you can hope to achieve with Vanquish Soul here. We've got the Baron as the Omni Negate. We've looped the card out the hand. We've got Raisin online. This is really, really powerful.
Yeah, I guess we could also make the Merrymaker.
Yeah, true.
Still more to come.
That is just amazing what we're seeing right here. So there is the rank 4. And yeah, it's either Dweller or just the Merrymaker you were talking about. Those are the options that he has here, and I like both of them. And I think I like the Merrymaker even more, honestly.
Well, I was actually going to suggest that I prefer the Dweller, so you have to be the you have to be the tiebreaker here, Tom.
Okay, good call, Tom. Good call. You really saw that one coming.
You've got taste. Yeah, I just saw the you know, it already.
I mean, you already said it before he was summoning it. So there's Sagas now, of course. Saga is going to add that Regulus. I mean, I can see though why you would like the Dweller more, because Dweller does play around cards like Dark Ruler more and stuff like that more. But so like if we're just summoning negate after negate after negate, that is going to be punished pretty hard by Dark Ruler. But looking through all of the decks we've already seen today, I don't think a single person we had in the featured match actually was playing Dark Ruler today.
Yeah, it's not been very popular despite the fact that it's just such a powerful go second card. But oh, interesting. We've picked up a Pankratops on the top there.
Ooh, that would have been a nice card to Pendulum summon out as well.
This is truly like 101 interruptions from Lucas. They're just showing us the Druid Worm in hand as well.
Oh, and also 2 set cards. Let's see, does Ludger have a way to deal with this? But Pankratops is definitely not the worst start ever.
So one of the advantages of Pankratops is that it acts as a sort of 2-for-1, because you can beat over something and then force something out with the tribute effect. But it's a little bit rough here because there's nothing we can actually attack over.
I was going to say, you could beat over something if your opponent's board wasn't huge.
Yeah.
Like everything on the field there is goal.
Okay, seems like we are negating with Regulus and then using the Soul Piercer Graveyard effect there.
I think there's a Talent in the hand, so that's going to be step 2 to deal with Baron. And then from there, well, we'll see if there's enough gas in the tank for Ludger.
I mean, it's a good start because we deal with both Omni Negates. Okay, it's quick launch first.
I was going to say, I'd really like to deal with the Baron first, and then you can take it with Talents.
Fair, very fair point.
And that should, you know, then deal with another card. You can destroy it.
Well, I'm just worried because then your follow-up feels a bit weak here. If you don't get to resolve this quick launch, but it looks like Lucas actually let the quick launch resolve, which means that we can get a light and dark in the graveyard.
Ooh, but one very important factor that both players definitely have to have in mind here is the fact that there's only 4 more minutes left in this. So the one that is going to do damage here first is in a pretty good position, as he will be in the lead in terms of life points, and that is pretty crucial at this point here.
Ludger is definitely going to do damage with this. What's the name? I've forgotten. Rocket Recharger with its 0 attack. I believe in him.
It looks scary.
I really do love that in both games he summons that thing in attack mode.
Yeah. It's just
21 defense is just cosmetic.
I've never put it in attack mode in my life, to be honest.
Ever.
It's a power move. It's just a power move by Ludger there.
You know, you can boost it by 300 with the
that's
boot
true,
sector,
actually.
right?
Boot sector, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget. All right, checking the graveyard here to see what kind of bestial line we're going to go with. But first of all, in the order of business, we're going to go Striker Dragon. Does he play Scarlight at all?
He is siding it, and I would assume in a Game 3 scenario where you're getting closer and closer to time, that this card probably found its way into the extra deck there.
Yeah, so I mean, if we can find a way to not get disrupted enough to the point that we can actually go
negated and destroyed with the Baron de Fleur. Now that, of course, makes our talents live. But what are we even doing? Do we want to take the Baron? Because from there on, I don't think we can move on a whole lot, but we do decide to take it.
No, this is really strong, actually. We can force something out with the Baron. We can use the Baby Dragon in the hand.
Oh, we do have a Baby Dragon?
Yeah, we can summon that Wyver Burster and then keep extending like that, go into Pisty, into a Link 2.
There's a slight misstep here because... Well, this is a big misstep because you can just flip up the Baron. And in fact, that gives you the negate back, so...
Oh, you are absolutely right. That would be insanity if he realizes. But yes, you are totally correct there, Tom.
No.
This is just a classic...
Does he know,
Ludger didn't notice.
I feel like this has happened like a million times when you play. You always do it. When someone takes your monster and then you book it, you're like, oh, I can't have that. And then they just flip it up and you're like...
Classic case of does he know, though? It really depends on does he know.
Does he know? I think if he knew, he would have probably
already
it by
did
now,
it, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Before you commit.
I also really would have liked to play the Druid Worm while you didn't have any monsters on your field, and that would prevent your opponent from interrupting you with Druid Worm.
Yeah, I think might be getting a little bit flustered knowing that there's so little time on the clock now.
Good point, good point.
So a decent way to go here. So The issue is that we can go into a Link 2, we can get access to Tracer, but it's going to be impossible to summon now because the Striker Dragon was negated and destroyed by the Baron, so I don't know how we're going to make a Synchro 8, even if we do get to Scarlight.
It's going to be tough, that's for sure. For a second, I was thinking, are you even allowed to flip summon non-dragon monsters while Pisty is on the field? But you are, it's only for special
It's
summons.
not going to be on the field forever, so...
Flip summon Baron. New
So,
tech.
maybe he's just holding it for like maximum effect.
Yeah, I think Ludger was looking at Dark there, but Dark, of course, is not a card you can summon when there's Pisty on the field.
One other like kind of nice optimization maybe against the Vanquish Soul deck is to put your monsters, if you can, in columns where there's that are already taken, because the Soul Rasen can destroy monsters in its column, and there's lots of ways to summon a Soul Rasen during your opponent's turn. So that Baron de Fleur, maybe if it was in the middle monster
Don't go for Dark, don't go for Dark.
We can't make Dark, we can't make Romulus, we can't make Seals.
Well, you can make Romulus.
Yeah, he's Darklocked, doesn't he?
Oh, you're right, actually.
We started with Tracer.
Oh no, we just passed back over.
Do we have to give the Baron back as well, maybe?
Oh, yeah, he really did not know. But now he has to be quick. 30 seconds left. Lucas has to find a way to quickly do damage
Simply
here.
has to go to the battle phase. Omega comes back, gets a card back to the hand, put everything into attack mode, go to the
We
battle
are in
phase. There
battle
it is.
phase. That is damage.
Damage has been connected.
Woo! Lucas is happily taking the lead here in this game 3 after Ludger just did not know to flip that Baron back up. He didn't. He really did not. And now the negate is face up again, is live again as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be time for Ludger to come back into this game. There's so many things that Lucas
No, it's a
can
scoop
do.
there. There's a handshake, and Lucas has been victorious in the final round of day 1 of YCS Dortmund. Wow, that was very nerve-wracking for him. I felt like in the end of game 2, he must have been really kicking himself, but he's managed to pull back together, hasn't he?
Yeah, that was like just the most nerve-wracking game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've seen for a while. That just when you're the feeling that goes through you when you've got all of these cards and your opponent's just said, okay, here's my one monster, and you've got all of these cards in your whole deck, and you can't figure out how to deal with it. It's so frustrating, you know.
I think it was also a power move by Lucas, just booking the Baron and just confidently sitting there, just being like, yeah, I booked it, so there's no way for you to continue, right?
I don't think that was a bluff, you know. I think that was just a little. I mean, it doesn't have an effect extra, the Dust Devil, that you can't flip it face up or anything.
Let's
like
double
that,
check. Maybe we blamed him for that, so maybe there is an extra effect, but I'm pretty sure there's not, no. Pretty sure there is not, but there is the Dust Devil.
Yeah, so
it can be flipped back up.
Yeah, so
sure.
I mean, this is one of the takeaway lessons that for those of you at home can probably observe. You know, you go to a YCS, it's a long day, 9 rounds. You know, you're going to be exhausted. It's important to stay hydrated, keep your mental up, and then maybe in a different round that would have been something that he would have noticed.
Well, both players maybe could have.
Yeah.
I mean, because flipping it, yeah. It's just actually, to be honest, this is almost like a lesson of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because this is an interaction that seems to happen so frequently.
Flip-like interactions is definitely something people can be weak on.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't happen very regularly, but when it happens, it's very important, as it would have been very important right here, right there. And actually, it's good for both players, though, that they found a winner, because a draw in this one would have been quite icky, because they already both had the draw, so I don't know whether we would have had them in the tournament anymore. But now, of course, Lucas is definitely the guy still in competition, going strong still in the tournament, going into day 2. But also, of course, we will go into day 2 now. But we have some final words by our host, of course. Please end the show for today.
Thank you very much, Basti. Yes, that is it for our first day of coverage here at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series in Dortmund. It's been a great day, a long, arduous day for over 2,500 registered duelists here at this event. It's been very exciting. Thank you very much to all of you guys at home for tuning in on the Twitch and, of course, on the YouTube as well. We're going to be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. local time here in Dortmund with even more coverage. Remember, we've had 9 rounds of Swiss today, and there's 12 in total. So we're going to start with 3 more rounds of Swiss. Then we get into that top 64 cut. So obviously 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, and then into that grand final to see who is going to be crowned the YCS Dortmund champion for this brand new season. The first YCS since the World Championships that happened only a few weeks ago in Tokyo. This has been great fun. Thank you very much to all my wonderful commentary colleagues, Leo, Basti, Tom, Nadir, Marcello, and of course Alberto cannot be with us this weekend, but fear not, Alberto? Oh, this has gone badly for me. I'm sorry, Alberto, if you heard that. Alberto will be back for our next bit of coverage at our next YCS. But until then, have a good evening, and we'll see all of you tomorrow bright and early for day 2 of YCS Dortmund.